Welcome to another episode of the
Creator
Show. My name is Nico. I'm your host for today. And to my right, we have, three very special guests. Here we have
Kia.
Hi, Kier.
Hello there.
How are you?
I'm alright.
He's very composed still, huh? Second show, still very composed.
Not
Oil
doing
him
bad,
up
though,
little
considering.
by little.
I remember when I first spoke to you about being on the show, and I said that I'd be hiding under the sofa. I'm doing
He's
all
on the
right.
sofa.
Good.
He's
Now
doing
he's
fine.
on the sofa. And then to Kier's right, we have
Kaina,
Kaina. How are you
Hi.
today, Kaina?
I'm good.
Awesome. And in front of me, we have
Namaste,
Master
everybody.
Shriya Kashana.
I realize you're a lot louder when you're hosting. That's better.
Yeah.
You should stay hosting.
Yeah,
That should be your chair now.
Yeah, okay. I'll do that.
Yeah.
When I'm there,
When he's there, he
I
goes
talk.
quiet for some
I
reason.
talk like this. And then when I host, it's just the volume button goes up. So, is there anything that someone would like to... Any questions, Kier?
Yeah, you know me.
He has loads
of questions.
Because he's the only normal person here.
Normal person. Yeah.
I mean, him...
He's the only person with shoes on.
Yeah, for a start.
And not a white t-shirt.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Go on,
You're gonna
fine.
get me going again. I actually thought of something yesterday because I was watching a film,
What film was it?
Constantine.
Oh, yeah, that's an old one, right?
That's an
Yeah.
old one, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
about
yeah.
Too old for me.
About
What?
vampires
Too
and
old
stuff,
for
isn't
me.
it?
I don't know
No,
about
it's
it.
about
There's this field, and there's some stars.
no.
Oh,
There's some
that
light in the
film.
sky?
Yeah, that film.
Was there a
What?
I have
field?
no
Was
idea.
there a field involved?
No, it's all shot in the city.
Oh.
All right. What's it
That's
about?
not Constantine.
And then ask us your question.
So it's about
He's
God.
fearful of the mic. Push the mic closer to him.
God and the devil, and demons and angels and things like that.
Interesting.
Something that I've always been interested in. Not being a religious person, it's
Mm.
just always the idea of it has always fascinated me.
And who on the show reminded you of the demon for you to ask this question?
I'm not answering that one.
Nash has left. You can mention.
So yeah, basically, I was always had a fascination with that kind of thing, and I guess obviously I'm still trying to understand all the spirituality and everything like that.
Mm.
So, and your message of positivity is the main, like one of the main things, right? So I guess my question is, it's not a religion, but do you think there is such a thing as angels, demons, things like that?
Okay, let me ask God first. Yeah. Let me pray to God first.
It's a bit out there. I know.
No, that's a good question.
I always say everything that people can even imagine is real, because we cannot come up with something that doesn't exist. So if it didn't exist, it wouldn't go into imagination.
But how would you explain that to someone who doesn't think like us?
You don't. You walk away.
You
You let
Is
them
that why
be.
everyone's been walking around?
Because there's one
You
thing you
just
always
let them
say is
be.
energy is everything and everything is energy, and energy can never be created or destroyed. So therefore,
Imagination is energy.
exactly.
Thought is energy. Movies is energy,
Energy.
from thought.
Yes.
And I think on the seeker's journey, when people do something, for example, like our first time out in Himalayas with Grandmaster, when you see an eagle the size of a dinosaur, for example, and then
Did
you
you
come
see an eagle the size of a dinosaur?
to my knowledge of what a dinosaur size would be, yes.
How
Yeah,
big?
like around this size.
A little
Just a
figurine.
baby dinosaur.
How big, like compared to a human being, normal human being?
Like bigger than us. If when the
Wingspan.
wings open up, it's bigger than us.
Oh yeah.
That's scary.
But in height, like the height of the eagle.
Yeah, bigger than us. When it opens up,
In-
bigger than us.
in
So it
height?
stands taller.
Wow.
So that was so it might be a small dinosaur, right?
Yeah,
But
but still.
but-
Baby dinosaur.
but I don't know about her, but when I first seen it, I was scared.
Yeah, I
Like
remember
it
you
was it just opened up and I was like, what? Like is
And
like what
Even
is
though,
that,
even
right?
though we were in the car, it was still quite scary
Yeah,
seeing
yeah.
it from the car.
and
Yeah.
didn't you mention that like these eagles they carry people?
Yeah, so they don't carry anybody, you know.
Of course. It's not like a bus
beings.
station. You got your ticket.
They divine, yeah.
Do you want to go first? Should I
So,
go?
Ladies
so
first.
they pick up yogis and carry them from mountain to mountain. So, for example, like that,
Wow.
when you go seeking and you go see all these mysterious things, it starts. For me, what it does is it kicks off a lot of movies.
Mm.
Like a lot of movies, just, oh my god, that's like whatever movie. That's like Avatar, or that's like
Lord of the
whatever.
Rings,
Yeah, so all these movies kick in. And the more I've been going through this seeker's journey, whether it's going through dimension traveling meditations and stuff, and then feeling like it's an inception, I start realizing that all the things that we think is fake is real.
Yeah.
And in fact, all the things that people believe to be real is fake.
Yeah.
Right? People think that of what is facts is not really fact. For example, we can Google or we can look at Guinness Book of Records or something like that and search what's the oldest human alive, for example. So what people believe to be real would say, I don't know, whatever it is now, 150 or whatever they say, right?
Yeah.
So, bear that in mind though. You got
My grandpa.
grandpa is
How old?
110.
Whoa.
110,
And
yeah,
he's still
yeah.
going
Still
strong,
walking,
right?
still
Yeah,
showering
yeah,
himself,
wow.
Yeah.
doing everything
That's
Yeah.
incredible.
in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
What did he eat?
So record we probably see, I don't know, whatever it is
Yeah,
now,
it's just
150 or whatever.
That much.
But in comparison to what
Actually
like we
is there.
meet out in the mountains would be a few thousand years old, which is it's non-existent, right? Like for us, it's like, yeah, right. He's just saying that, prove it, you know. Where's the passport? But they don't have passport. It's like you couldn't ask them for passport
Where's the
because there's no passport, you know, mountain passport, you know.
And what, like, sorry, I'm asking questions. From
Yeah,
this.
no, I had one ready to go there, but go on.
How so? I don't doubt that this is true, but is this longevity of life? Is that down to the kind of fugery? Is that down to the spiritual practices? Everything put together?
Everything, and they can't. It's not possible for us to reach that level here. So, meaning that
Stress levels.
if you meet them, they are not living a normal life. They can't undergo all they sit there every day.
Do they talk?
You see, yeah, they can talk, but they sit there every day. So they don't have as much movement as us and all this type of stuff. They don't do all this stuff. So so because of how they're using their body,
They preserve
are
the
preserving
energy.
it. Yeah, so it's different. So I'm not saying this to say, hey, we should all live 3,000 years or something, or we can even, not right now anyway, through evolution and through how things will evolve, it's possible, you know, in the future. But I think it's more answering to the question of everything. Demons, angels, whatever is real, and how could you say it's not real? Like, let's say, for example, I used this example recently. I said, let's say, for example, if Naiko had in your mind you had a dream wife, right? This dream partner, and imagine the dream partner was just there. And in that mind, the dream partner didn't see you as a partner, but in your mind, it was beautiful. Everything was beautiful, right? Now we could say, oh, he's delusional. There's something wrong with him, but we cannot deny he's having a good time, right? So even in his mind, he's having a good time. Everything's perfect, right? So if that's happening, let's say, for example, every single day he's happy. Because in his mind, he's kind of like married to this person. Everything's beautiful, right? And let's say in reality, that person really dislikes the whole idea, for example. Then is what he's thinking, is it real or is it not? For sure, he's experiencing it. And he can be experiencing it fully. We can be saying he's gone crazy. But who's really the crazy one if he's enjoying life? And we're spending our time
being miserable,
thinking that he's gone crazy.
See, that just baffles the hell out of me.
mind blown.
Are we talking just inside his head there, or are we talking?
So
if you look at-
inside someone's head, is it real?
Well, even science proves this.
Like, can you prove that it's happening inside his head? Can you prove that it's not real? You call it imagination, but as a scientist, what is imagination?
Yeah.
Like, there's no
Well,
there's no certainty in what imagination
ask a
is.
scientist what is reality. It's a simulation of what the head, the brain interprets through 5 senses, which is massively limited. Even if you go into quantum physics, like we understand actually what we understand reality to be. First, it's not this physical, tangible thing. If you go in and in and in, all it is just waveforms of energy. But now that it's and this isn't just new science, this isn't quantum science, it's just what we perceive as reality is just purely a simulation of the brain.
Like the Matrix.
Yep.
Do you know what's really nice? There's this quote by Rumi, and I forget exactly how the quote goes, but what was said was that when it comes to the end of our life, we laugh at ourselves to realize
was all a
because we
dream.
wake up
Yeah,
from the dream.
Yeah.
And we're like, OMG, all that thing I was fussing about for so many years, and I'm awake, and it was all not real, you know. Now the question here is this reality or is this reality?
Yeah.
When we close our eyes, is it reality? Is dream reality or is this reality? Are we waking up from the dream or are we going into the dream, you know, every day?
These questions.
And how can we prove it?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go back. Let's go back to the Eagles for a start.
Because
This has always fascinated me.
Yeah.
So I remember when you first said it, I was like my second week on the job, and I was like,
maybe I should leave. Get out of
Who are
here
these
before it's
people?
too late.
I was like, what? Okay, that sounds interesting.
That was the polite version as well.
Yeah. But I mean, you know, if you start believing it, I mean, obviously you've seen it kind of, and it's like, how come it's not been heard of or seen before? How come?
People would go crazy.
Because humans aren't ready for it. So there are certain boundary. The system, the thing that is in control, will put its barriers there and protection there to make sure this message never gets out.
At least for now.
Now, that sounds very extreme, and you're thinking, what's going on? As simple as when we were doing the documentary, you heard the story where Grandmaster said to us some secrets in the documentary, and Lucy went out in public on Instagram about it. Then she felt extremely, extremely ill. She couldn't fly that day. They put all measurements in there so that nothing can be... It's almost like what people would call Illuminati, but it's not maybe what people think exactly it is, you know?
And that kind of happened to you last week on the show, didn't it? Because
Is that what happened to me?
you started mentioning something, and then you were like, I can't mention that.
Oh, there was one
Started to
piece of
feel
information.
pressure.
Yeah.
So that's the same sort of thing.
Yeah. Well, not as extreme as because I heard how bad Lucy got.
Yeah.
She got pretty ill,
So
but it's a different thing.
we don't want to be sniped out, you know?
What?
If you're going to play the game, you got to know the rules of the
know the
game.
rules.
Huh?
Yeah.
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 So...
Nice.
I've got too many questions.
Go on.
Go on.
Because the great thing is that the reason why, by the way, I went ahead to ask Keir these questions is because these are very common, normal questions that the normal person would have.
No, I think he's beyond normal.
Yes.
The normal person would be would be out the door.
okay.
Wouldn't even be
The
here.
curious.
I'm out of here.
Yeah, the curious normal person. These are honest questions.
Like now Hassan's borderline leaving now. It's like first week at work. He's like, I don't get what these guys are talking about.
Okay, here's another one.
He's just about to tell a joke or something.
knock, knock.
So if you decided to pack it all up and go and live in the mountains, you could.
It's not
then-
possible.
It's
It's not possible now. No.
Because of the commands you've been given. Is that what you mean? It's not
No,
possible?
But
because
can't anyone just go and do that?
no, I could say it. I could say it, but I just couldn't do it.
Oh, you mean for yourself? It's just not a feasible lifestyle.
No. Well, you can say it that way, but it's because they've made it not possible.
Right.
Let's say, for example, okay, let's say some people in a 16-year marriage that is going terribly wrong. I'm not pointing anything at you. I'm just.
It was only 3 years.
It was
all bad.
It's all bad. So let's say somebody was in a 16-year marriage and they everything's going wrong and they stay together for the next 50 years or the rest of their life, right? So what determines why they're staying there or why they're not? Well, there's a big pull to a reason why they're staying there, and they can't justify it. It's not logical.
So interesting.
But there's a power there. There's a force there. There's a thing that's keeping them there. Yeah. And everyone outside will say, hey, you should get out there. You should get out there, pick up the courage. But there's a bigger force, although it could be abrupt. It could be very violent even. But they're stuck there.
That's super interesting.
So in the same sense that that's not just for that relationship. What I'm saying is we are all kept aligned. What we feel is our free will is what is channeled through us. So I feel, I'm totally free will right now. I can do whatever I want. Yet at the same time, I couldn't even get myself to take a day off work, for example. Now, what justifies what? How does that make sense?
But that's because you don't want to, right?
Yeah. But who is I?
Yeah. That desire is
You see?
something.
Because you don't want to, but who is you?
Yeah, of course.
Because you are extension. You are reflection.
Yeah.
So you are not you. Yeah. So when you say decide to pack up and leave it all, no. The only difference between, let's say, majority of people, and I think it was Nishma on the other show who mentioned the word puppets. She said, it's like we're being used as puppets. So we could look at it like that in the sense that, okay, let's say if everybody is being used as puppets, the only difference now is they have allowed me and given me authorization to know that it's happening. Because the spirit and the body, the vehicle and the mind is ready to accept that truth and go even more with it. So they know I will be more powerful if I knew the truth. Yeah. Some people will not be more powerful if they knew the truth, for example. For example, if you tell the common person, you say, hey,
you're being controlled.
Yeah. They will rebel.
Of course.
When they rebel, it'll be against the whole thing. Then it'll be fighting. So that will not be allowed. Now, they say, hey, the spirit has come to a level of consciousness where we can actually reveal the truth and say, hey, by the way, look, this is how it is. And you're like, okay, so you got to do all this shit. It's like, right. So are you going to do it? Yes. Are you okay with it? I'm extremely happy with it.
So what if you were to rebel? What will happen?
But it's stupidity.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I always say humans are stupid. No, I always say humans are stupid because humans are stupid. But I don't like. But it's
not you guys.
Not you guys. You guys are non-human. Everyone watching this is non-human. It's just, but it's like because they try to rebel.
It's because they don't understand.
They don't just flow with. People don't flow with things. They try. To use their mind. Your mind is stupid. Like people, the human mind is stupid because it can only think of negative things. Yeah. Everybody is like that. And then they end up. Lost all of their lives, never finding their purpose. That's the reality. Majority of people will never find their purpose.
Would you say, so what you've just said is based on actual human nature or human conditioning in this planet in this time?
Yeah, but human nature is human conditioning, no? Human nature is human conditioning. That's a human.
Yes.
Spirit, you say soul nature?
Yeah.
You see, that's free spirit coming in. Human is human.
Yeah.
Human is human conditioning. Human would not be human if it wasn't for conditioning. So, so the soul desires so much. Soul desire is I do what I want when I want. I'm a free spirit. It's like that. Conditioning is all the different fears,
Yeah, I
doubts,
shouldn't do that because I was told, or
fears, doubts.
But
This
you-
is not right.
You say
That's
you
not
said
right.
that most humans don't find their purpose. But then, what is the purpose then to find? Because you say at the same time,
Their
whatever
purpose is
you
not.
should do.
No.
is just-
Most humans is not supposed to find their purpose even.
Yeah.
Most humans is need. Okay. Let's put it like this,
Oh,
right?
God.
Let's, because this is too abstract for the average person to understand. If we put it into context, you play a computer game. Computer game is designed by human.
Yep.
But can you see in computer games, there is a lot of games that reflects on, it's kind of a reflection of
Yes.
what we do with human in human life, right?
It
Whether
is,
it's
yeah,
war, fighting, whether it's whatever, it's a reflection of it.
Yeah.
What we do every single day is a reflection of what is,
Above.
like, they can only design what they know.
Yeah.
So we are only a reflection of that. This game we're playing. Now let's use the game of a company,
Okay.
a business, a company.
Yeah.
Okay. The average employee you go out to speak to, right? Ask them, what's your career goal? What's your life goal in? What's your big dream in this career? They don't have big dream. Like their career is saying, oh, get a pay rise, get a promotion, maybe.
And then retire.
Right? So what is their purpose? Their purpose in life is to get a promotion, hopefully, and get a good paying job and retire, right? So that's that. Speaks to the boss. Speaks to the owner of the company. You say, what's your big dream? What's your big goal? So their big dream, their big goal is, oh, I'm going to build this, I'm going to build that, I'm going to build this empire. So now look at it like this. The employee, what is it? It's a little small puppet right now. Right? It will be used to build the dream. But the dream is not their dream. They're only a little cog in the machine.
Little minion.
So most people, they are cogs in the whole machine of existence. And the cog does not need to know its purpose. It just needs to know, I just need to spin every day. And that's what a cog does. I just need to spin every day. So the person who's writing, I need to write every day. The person who's taking photos, I need to take photos all day. That's what happens. Until a point where somehow, they have this big vision.
And that's them being given by whatever.
When container is ready, then it'll be given. And Grandmaster says container is ready, vessel is ready, channel will come through, you get permission. This is abstract. Let's bring it back to the company. Right? If you suddenly, you're doing these videos, right? And then suddenly, now you're on the show. You went from there to here. Like in the matter of a couple of months. God knows why you're on the show and not behind the camera, because that's what you came in for, right? Right? So why on earth did you get put there, right? So now you're there. You went from, like, first show, already like, not really, can I? To now speaking more. What says that in 1 year time, you're not going to be, wow, bam, 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 speaking all this like truth and this motivation to people, and people are, oh my God, I love what he says. And what says that you are not going to become a very good speaker or a very good salesperson or whatever you do. And at that time, what will happen? From above command, whether that be Rebecca or whether that be whatever it is in hierarchy, the whole world is hierarchy, just like a company is hierarchy. Then Rebecca might reach out to you and say, you should run that next webinar and you should run this section. So why did you get permission? Why? It's because somehow your capacity, your skill set, it evolved. So this reflection works in exactly the same way. We become a more powerful human. Then they'll give us more things to do.
So what you're saying is, for those who don't know their purpose or don't know whatever they want to do in their life, to just pick something, get better at it, and then eventually something will come their way.
Just try stuff.
Just
You
gain the strength, and then
Okay. Yes, but also it will never happen for all. So,
Or are you saying flow?
hey?
Or are you saying flow?
No, people are too stupid to flow. No,
But you're not.
Do we need to edit all these bits out? People are all unsubscribing now. Right? No, it's real. No, I'm saying this, and I hope everyone who's listening understands from what context I'm saying this. I mean, hopefully I can stimulate you to say, hey, I'm not stupid. I'm going to show you, right? And if you prove to me by disciplining yourself, because I got a lot of discipline. And some people say, oh no, he's in the flow. Yeah, but I got a lot of discipline. You need to understand, yesterday during dinner, something came to me. And I realized because our dads came here and we're playing table tennis over the weekend. And then I was thinking, why have I got a table? I was thinking, why have I got a table tennis table, and why haven't I got a snooker table? Because I've got space I'm a snooker player. I love snooker. Like I can play 7 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours of snooker by myself. Like I would just enjoy aiming for all the balls like that, right? And getting better at it. So, and then I asked myself that question: why don't I have a snooker table? And then instantly I answered that question, which was pretty much the answer I just gave you, which was, if I had a snooker table, I would be 10 hours on that table. Where's Master? He's just practicing. Practicing for what, right? He thinks he's going to be some professional. Not really. He just enjoys hitting the same ball in the same pocket all day long, you know? Like that's what I would do. So if you have a look at it, they say if you want something, then it requires certain sacrifices. If I look at it like this, right? Number one, I know why I got rid of my piano. I got rid of my piano.
Was it a grand piano?
No, it wasn't. But I got rid of my piano because I was learning piano. And learning piano requires a lot of my time, learning all the keys and notes and things. It's hours without even seeing the result yet. And it will continue to be more hours. I got rid of the piano. I gave it away to my cousin because I enjoyed it.
Wow.
I enjoyed it, but I have too much that I want to build. The empire that I want to build is too big. And I can't be spending hours every single day doing that thing. So I said, okay, priorities. I need to put priorities there. I don't buy a snooker table, right? I would rather, once in a while, I go to the snooker club and play snooker. But if it's in my home or if it's here, you will not see it. You will create a show. Let's do it tomorrow. I'm practicing today, right? The third thing is series. Watching TV shows. Right? People are saying, hey, you watch this, then you need to watch this. You watch it. No. I'm not starting. You guys know how it is. Everybody who's watching this knows how it is. The moment you start,
that's it.
You're gonna, especially if you're not watching it, if you're watching on Netflix, you're watching the whole series in one evening, one night, you know, or 2 nights or a week, right? And your life is gone. And if you're watching anything like Game of Thrones, where there's I don't know how many seasons, 8 seasons or something like that, it will take your life away. So I discipline myself. So when you say, is it flow? Flow is there. But I think if you said this last show, is discipline and surrender. In between is flow state. But discipline, for most people who are listening, discipline first. If they can discipline themselves to even some of the things they enjoy, some of the things, yesterday we were talking about addiction. I believe in empowering addiction and disempowering addiction.
Interesting.
I'm a very addictive person. Very. Like, another thing I wouldn't get, computer console.
Oh, yeah?
I would not get it.
That's it.
If I get an Xbox or something, I'll be on Halo. I'll be fighting the Americans and everything. Everything's going on, right? I'll be there all day long.
On Xbox Live.
Every day, and I wouldn't sleep. I'll just be there, right? So I get addicted to things, right? But what I start realizing, in the same sense, many years ago when I was drinking, partying, I get addicted to it. Every single night I'm doing it, right? So the only difference is, and what there was some research done before, which I read about, which they said that a lot of successful people, they have this addictive type of personality. Yeah. The only difference is now, when I was speaking to Chibari about this yesterday, I said to Chibari, you're an addict. Because if you look at the way, if you were to take her off her laptop and her phone for a day, she
wouldn't be able to function.
like she would be so off.
Yeah.
She's an addict, but it's an empowering addiction. She's addicted to something that puts goodness out to the world, that puts a positive message out to the world, and she's addicted to that thing. I'm addicted to it. I'm addicted to work. You see? And it takes that type of addiction as well.
It does.
But it takes the sacrifice of the disempowering addiction. What other things are the addiction? Everything else is...
Well, if you look at Grant Cardone, that video that you shared with us, the one where he's in the big stadium.
Yeah.
Grant Cardone, if you guys don't know him, check him out. He's hugely influential, hugely successful businessman, entrepreneur. And he was saying he was addicted to drugs. Massively addicted to drugs.
Yeah.
And, it's
And
the
now
case.
look at his success, huh?
Now, man,
Because he's
it's
addicted
huge.
to
Yeah.
results. Which then, addiction comes from what? Addiction then comes from dopamine.
Yep.
And yesterday we were
That's all
also
it
talking
is,
about
isn't it?
that.
Yeah, release of dopamine.
Yeah. Dopamine is the thing,
the
is the
happy
chemical
hormone.
that gives us that happiness, right? And I was watching this documentary. It was very interesting the other day, and it was they were talking about. They said social media. The big problem is like this. In the past, you had to do a lot to release dopamine, a lot more than today. In the past, you had to succeed in something. You had to get a physical result. Like you had to earn $1 million. You had to get a trophy, get an award. You had to get a gold medal to get that release. So in the past, you used to do a lot more. Today, society has been ruined by the fact that dopamine is the fastest release happens on what now? Happens
It's in your
on
phone.
happens on checking on your last post and seeing that you got 1 like. Instant release. Which is really funny because now we have what? Now we have everybody is addicted to this thing every single day.
Swiping,
Yeah. And I love it when Grandmaster talks about this. He says, check your screen time. Right. So it's like, okay, 8 hours, 7 hours, 6 hours a day, whatever. I don't know if have you guys ever checked before your screen times? Right. So some people, it'll shock them. They don't even know they're on that many hours, right? To know that you're 8 hours on your phone is pretty intense, right? But let's say it's 5 hours a day, right? It's still pretty intense. It's a lot of hours. Now, what he says that a lot of people say get off your phone, but he said it's not true. He said if you're an influencer, and that's your role, that's your career, you should be on your phone. Because that probably is empowering addiction. So I'm on my phone. I feel every time I'm on my phone, I'm not, who's like my post and thing. No, it's not. I'm saying, hey, what content are people creating? What content can I create to put out there? Right? That's my screen time. But the average person out there, what's their screen time?
Scrolling.
Scrolling and checking if the 21 people like their post, which is what probably the average person would get, right? And they get so happy that they get the 21 and, 5 of friends and family and stuff. It's like that. And this is shifting what mindset now? And I love this topic, and this came up yesterday during dinner. Most people are addicted to their phones, whether they are a consumer or not. But most people are consumer. So our message now is simple with the work we do. We're saying, if you're going to be addicted to your phone anyway, why don't we just keep your addiction's fine. That's fine. Your screen time's fine. But how about if we can shift you from consumer to creator?
Ooh.
You get what I'm saying?
Good.
Mic drop. If we could drop this, we would drop it, Maybe we got to throw it out or something, right?
Unscrew it.
Unscrew it and throw it out. Might not have the same effect. Right? So I think that's powerful, right? Because it's most people are consumers. I'm saying become a content creator and stay addicted to your phone. That's okay. But at least your addiction is an empowering addiction.
Serving.
It's putting some impact out to the world.
Isn't that the purpose you speak of? Because in your
One of
events, you say that that's one of the is it the 6
Human need, the need for
Yeah,
contribution.
yeah.
Service, serving people. People are lost. And hopefully this will either get some people to unsubscribe to the channel or it will wake some people up because it was disruptive. The way it was talked about was disruptive. But people are lost. They are lost. They're confused. They're lost. And the reality is most people will be lost all of their lives. Is it a problem? No. Because they don't know they're lost. They think they're being normal. So it's not a problem. But those who are listening to this message today, there's probably a reason why they're listening to this message today. So maybe it's time to not be lost anymore, right?
And on that note, I think it's time to wrap it up. Guys, if you got any value from this at all, then you know exactly what to do. Make sure to like, comment, And also subscribe. Hit the subscribe button and the notifications button. That's the little bell sign, by the way. And we shall see you at the next Creators Show. Namaste.
Namaste.